All right, guys. So we got AMC earnings today. They're coming out pretty soon. Tesla, mostly a flat day that I'm seeing in markets right now. The Q is basically still sideways. We can see AMC, maybe GameStop's going to move a little bit. Also, we're going to get some music playing live now. We got AMC Q3 earnings today. We also have some other stuff I think dropping. Let me check. I have to go check to see what else is dropping. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. We're also going to do a poll live here like we always do. Oh, we got Disney earnings today too. I forgot about Disney. Yeah. We'll see if we'll see what Disney shows up to. All right, let me see chat. Hey, what's up, Jessica, Jose, Eli, Alyssa? Yeah, tough day on my end, man. I got kid. Let me see chat. Oh wait, I can hear my mic's not on correctly. This is the bad mic. Let me fix that. All right, so will AMC beat or miss their Q3 earnings vote on that? We're also going to do a Twitter poll live. We had Jerome Powell this morning. Running 300 shares short of Nvidia at 44. So you're extended now on that one. Yeah, Nvidia pretty green today. It's helping the market for sure. Gold down a little bit as well. You can kind of see the SPY is testing the green on the day. Testing green. I'm trying to go green. I'm still red on my portfolio, mostly by Walgreens today and Honeywell. But it's been a pretty good time on my portfolio altogether. All right. All right, so AMC is expecting 20-cent loss per share on 1.23 billion. Yeah, minus 20 cent per share EPS on a 1.12. How much is it? 1.21. Yeah, 1.23 billion is what they're expecting. All right. One day already, man. We've grown by like 1,000 subscribers, believe it or not. We're pretty close to hitting. Yeah, we're pretty close to hitting 118K. Got this shake right here. Again, AMC slightly green on the day, man. AMC's had a pretty good week. It's up to 1020s. I don't know how old this shake is. That's good. All right, so in November of 2023, YouTube's updating their advertiser guidelines. So on November 16th, YouTube's going to update their advertiser-friendly guidelines about dancing and breastfeeding nudity. It removes certain monetization limits on content that features non-sexually graphic dance, and also removes certain monetization limits on content that features nudity. Okay, well, not really relevant to me, but that's all good. I think that's a good move for them. I'm for it, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty neutral on the matter, but SPY up to over 437s on the day, slightly green. I heard AMC will start selling solar panels. Popcorn has been their latest move. Again, if we look at AMC's earnings report, if we look at AMC's EPS graph here, if you want to check it out. Again, AMC has, oh wait, this is the wrong one. All right, so here's their historical EPS for AMC, right? You can kind of see they've lost money in 1, 2, 3, 4. AMC hasn't had a profitable quarter since December of 21, where they made $10.20 a share. They've been red basically since then. But their last quarter, they were actually profitable. So look. So yeah, their last quarter, they posted 10-cent profit per share in June. All right. They're at 10.20s. They're almost flat on the day. SPY breaking down under the VWAP, under the previous closing price. Again, hit that like button. We got 6 likes while we're here. We can do better than that. All right. It's GameStop that is the one that doesn't usually do an earnings call, correct? Or no, that doesn't usually do a Q&A. They usually skip the Q&A for GameStop. What VWAP settings you use? I just use the stock VWAP on TD Ameritrade. I think it's -2.2 standard DEV. Google's still looking pretty strong, man. Google's been pushing up. I took some profit in it. I'm in both AMC and Disney today. I've been in AMC longer. But we got a decent amount of AMC shares, believe it or not. Again, gold retracing a heavy amount today. Nvidia microchips up. Microsoft flat, but slightly green. Google looking good. AMD completely flat. Yeah, I have AMC shares. I've been holding AMC for a while. I hope it goes up. Thoughts on AMC price after earnings announcement? I hope it goes up. Remember, the earnings announcement is at 4 p.m. today. The actual earnings call is going to be at 5 p.m. And again, we're going to stream all of it. We're going to stream the full call. We're going to stream the earnings report, reaction, all that good stuff. And so, yeah. We've been holding AMC for a while. All right, so look at AMC dip, testing that VWAP 200 EMA level. Let's see if it actually holds. I had a gut feeling today was going to be pretty flat. I mean, the SPY has actually closed green every day for 8 days in a row. So the SPY has been green for 8 days in a row. That's actually a record, the 2-year record. SPY hasn't been like that. It's the longest record in 2 years. I mean, I'm going to keep holding it most likely.
regarding AMC. 55% they say beat. 45% say miss. Let's put Twitter poll. All right, so AMC. Let's do a poll. Beats, miss. Let's post this. You can vote on our Twitter poll too. We got that poll live. Let's see what our poll states here. 70% of people think they're going to miss on Twitter. AMC started to dip under the 200 EMA VWAP level. I'll be surprised if AMC is not bankrupt in the next 3 years. I think there's I think they're I think AMC is still necessary. Like, people still need to use them. You know what I mean? Like, I go to AMC theaters pretty regularly as a date night with my wife. You know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, so the shareholder meeting is actually different from the conference call, just to clarify. All right, team. Again, y'all get ready. Rivian. Yeah, Rivian's an interesting one, too. All right, so we got some votes. So now we're 50-50 split on Twitter. Now slightly beat votes. Again, hit that like button, guys. We got about 100 likes here. Seller, keep AMC at $10. I'm not going to say what to do. I'm holding mine. Right, for sure, Reef. It's a cheap stock. Like, make your money on it, brother. You know? Again, the Powell speech was chaos, bro. We had over 5,000 people here for Powell. And Powell didn't really say much about the market, but he's going to be live again tomorrow. We're going to stream that full thing as well. Again, I'm not telling you to hit the subscribe button, but do it. Do it now. We need 240 likes or subscribers to break. We got over 200,000 views on the month. For the Jerome Powell stream, we got like 26,000 views earlier. So just that stream alone did pretty well. I love this chocolate or this peanut butter shake I was drinking, but it's just not that good. I don't know if it's old. I don't trust it. I'm not drinking any more of it. Recession callers. How can you have a recession with this running through the economy? Total construction spending up to almost $2 million. So here's a funny video. In 1970, North Korea ordered 1,000 Volvos from Sweden as a response to its emerging economy. The cars were shipped and delivered, but North Korea never paid and ignored the invoice. To this day, the bill remains unpaid, making it the largest car theft in history of 1,000 cars. All right, guys. Powell tomorrow's at 2 p.m. Yeah, honestly, bro, I got this peanut butter shake from the gym, but it's tasting kind of weird, dude. So I drank a little bit of it, but it's just not tasting quite right. I might have let it sit out too long. Yeah, the earnings call is at 5 p.m. The actual earnings release, I believe, at 4:20. Specifically 4:20 for AMC, but I'm not 100% sure exactly when their release is going to be. I think it's at 4:20, but I'm not 100%. Disney, Pawn. So we got AMC and Disney today, brother. I don't think I have any lessons on the Fibonacci, brother. But hey, I appreciate the support regardless. At some point, AMC will have to pay higher interest rates on that $9 billion. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, hit that like button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We got some votes. 57% of you think AMC is going to beat their Q3 earnings. 43% say no, they're not. They're going to miss. I'm going to go with beat. I'm going to go ahead and vote on it. Again, they're expecting for AMC, they're expecting a 20-cent loss per share on $1.23 billion in sales. BNGO was a really sketchy, terrible penny stock that looks to be a terrible company. There's no such thing as oversold in small caps. You know, again, small caps will keep going down and never stop. And so it's not like you can play extension in small caps. They run up big and then they usually fall. And so, yeah, that one, yeah, no offense, brother. But NVAX is a little bit better. But again, it's a biotech company and the risks in biotech are profound. You know, I'd be careful. I mean, we're going to cover both of them. We're going to cover both AMC and Disney. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to cover both of them. So, like, it's all good. But, you know. Yeah, like, we're going to cover both of them. Again, slap the like button, guys. How many likes we got here? Team, we got 25 likes. We can do better. Yeah, we'll cover Mara. We'll cover all the big earnings that release. So we got Mara, Twilio, AMC, Disney, Affirm, HubSpot, ARM. Oh, we got ARM today, bro. I'm holding ARM as well. They're expecting 27-cent profit per share on 753.63 million. So yeah, I'm actually holding ARM. We also have Lyft earnings today as well. So, but yeah, I've been holding ARM since they IPO'd a few, I'm not sure how long, like 3 weeks ago. When did they IPO? I've been holding it since. Maybe it was like a month ago. Let's look. So they IPO'd in September, bro. I guess it felt like a month ago, but it's about 2 months ago. But yeah, I've been holding it since then. We're still in it. Average price for me on ARM is 63s. So Disney looks like it's out. Disney just reported their numbers are out. Really? What is Disney reporting early? That's weird. I'm showing for Disney 26-cent loss. This has to be wrong. This has to be a glitch. There's no way Disney missed that bad. What I'm showing right now for Disney is a 26-cent loss on 20. It doesn't show me the rev. So we'll see if they leaked it, but I don't think this is right. All right, so Brazilian miner VALE says there's been a fire on a cargo train on the Carajas Railway in the Maranhão state, according to a filing, and the fire was extinguished. No fatalities or anything, or material damage. Bank of America Moynihan says the research team is predicting a soft landing of the U.S. economy. That's good. All right, so the Bank of America CEO thinks we're going to have a soft landing. I hope we do, brother. I hope we do. Look at the SPY rip up here. What is going on with the market right now? Look at the SPY, big pop. Maybe, I guess the market could be reacting to this right here. Again, I think the market could be reacting to this specifically right here. Like, look at this news story that we just posted. Again, look right here. Bank of America CEO Moynihan says the research team is predicting a soft landing of the U.S. and consumer spending is slow. That's all good news. We'll see if that holds. Disney is the other one that's dropping their earnings today. We're at 85s right now, 85s. Bro, the amount of fake people on the internet is so crazy. Like, bro, anytime I see like some type of like person in lingerie like my channel, I'm just like, bot. This is probably some dude in India. You know, it's probably some guy named Raul or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'd never believe in this at first heartbeat. And again, I think they mostly target like the older population to see if they're, you know, for lack of a better word, dumb enough to believe them. Most stocks keep selling off. Not many are bullish. Well, what's popping right now is the S&P. It's not Nvidia. Apple's moving up. Microsoft. Anybody? Google's pushing up a lot, so Google's moving up. That's nice. Microchips are doing okay. Market's starting to turn back up, though. Again, you can look at the SPY. Here's the Q. So it looks like it's mostly not tech, though, because the SPY is up more than the Q is, which means like maybe this is like Walmart. No, not Walmart. Not retail. Tesla. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, a lot of stuff's moving up. What is the link for the what? The 50 contest. What do you mean, President? I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. You might have me confused with somebody else, brother. As per Robinhood Armis reporting on 11/20, not today, right? I don't know. Earnings Whisper has it today. I can check. Okay, yeah. So sorry, ARM is not today. ARM's November 20th. That's correct. Tesla very strong right now. My portfolio started to look better. Oracle's been pretty green today. Google, well, gold is down, of course. Again, Amex still up. Let me look at AMC's revenue graph. It's been a minute since I looked at that. Macro trends. Because like EPS is good, but revenue is pretty solid. Again, see, here's some optimism for AMC, right? So like, look at this earnings graph. So again, this is their revenue. Their revenue has gotten pretty nice, you know. I mean, people can say what they want. They're still struggling to turn a profit, but like, you know, we got to take baby steps here, I think. One, two, right. AMC Rev, or no, yeah, this is AMC revenue. All right, so AMC's not looking bad. You know, they're yeah, AMC's revenue is looking okay. Let's see if this earnings call. All right, so we made this post regarding AMC. All right, guys, we still got 12 minutes. No, AMC's earnings call. I thought you were talking about something to get a fully funded account. Yeah, I mean, I'm sponsored by Top Step. I hope they go up. I don't know what they're gonna do. I hope they go up. Again, look at the S&P though. The SPY up the SPY is basically the S&P. It's been trending pretty nicely since midday. Again, I'm still slightly down in my equities portfolio today. Again, I'm holding AMC. I hope it goes up. I'm also holding ARM. I'm also holding Disney, which releases their numbers. Disney today, guys, I haven't even looked at them really, but they are expecting 67-cent loss per share on 20.13 bill for Disney. All right, again, the actual earnings call is going to be a little bit later. What a fun stream earlier, though, guys. Check out this stream, man. Freaking Jerome Powell. What a stream. Yeah. You know? 24,000 views for Jerome Powell. We had over 6,000 people. We had over almost 7,000 people there. Powell streams always hit for whatever reason. Like, Powell could be talking about his walk in the park yesterday, and people are going to tune into that. Because they're in hopes that he says something economic related. Does AMC announce EPS at 4 and then the call at 5, or is EPS also at 5? I feel like I've seen EPS come at the bell and then conference call later. I don't play earnings often. Sorry. All good, Sam. So technically AMC is scheduled. I'm going to get a timer up here. I do need a timer. Technically AMC is scheduled to release their earnings in 30 minutes at 4:20. Right, so we're gonna call it 29 minutes. We get the timer a little bit early, and then we'll press play here. And so yeah, but AMC technically is scheduled to report their numbers at 4:20. Right, the way all earnings essentially work in the afternoon, at least, is that companies release their metrics. They release their actual earnings report at the close. Usually, AMC today is scheduled for 4:20. Once it releases, you know, everybody interprets the results, and those are usually the biggest moves in the stock price, right? Like when the actual earnings come out, those are going to influence the stock a lot more than the actual earnings call, usually, unless there's like some big breaking news that happens during the earnings call. But generally it happens where at the close, earnings report comes out, and it's a detailed analysis and breakdown in a report format and Word format of what happens, what their EPS is, their potential guidance, their revenue, you know, new product launches, you know, new business moves, all that good stuff. That usually happens at the closing bell. For AMC today, again, it's scheduled for 4:20, but it varies. Like sometimes it could be right at the close, right at 4 p.m. Sometimes it's at 4:05. Today, AMC is scheduled for 4:20, and then later on, usually it's at either 5. Sometimes it's at 4:30, but a lot of the time it's at 5 or 5:30. That's when the actual call starts. That's usually when you're going to hear from the CEO, hear from the major executives. They're going to break everything down. You're going to do investor and trader Q&A, caller Q&As at the end of it. But again, we're going to stream all of that live here as well. So we're going to cover all that stuff too. I don't know if Disney's going to be up or down today. I really don't. Again, there's the SPY ripping up. Looks good. Disney moving up a little bit as well. Hey, I'm for it. I'm holding Disney as well. All right, guys. Housing market affordability is so bad that Zillow says it will take you 13 and a half years to break even on a purchase from July onward per Fortune. That's a long time. 14 years to break even? I'll buy annuities or, you know, something else. Bonds, you know. The reason, I mean, part of the reason there it's like that is because bonds. All right, team A. We got a little pullback in markets. Disney down to 85. So, yeah, we're holding Disney. We're holding AMC. Yeah, I've been funded multiple times on Top Step. I have 2 funded accounts currently. President. Last 7-8 days was very difficult to trade on futures. Big volatility, huge fake outs, a lot of up and down. I mean, the last 8 days have been very green market wise. Like the market has done pretty well. The last week plus, you know, it's been like really a record-breaking week in markets. We had more green days in a row than we've had in 2 years on the S&P. I believe we've had 8 green days in a row, which is very rare. Of course, if you watch markets, usually it's up, down, up, down. Disney, and I'm assuming the other stocks here are starting to pull back. AMC still battling that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. So still battling that 200 EMA VWAP level. Again, as we get closer and closer. We'll put this back up so people can see it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to check it out, President, here's the link. It's a little early for me to do a sponsored plug, but if you want to check it out, here's the link, bro. Hey, good luck, Rune. Caught me red-handed pullback. Yeah, I mean, we ended up bouncing back, mister. You know, market's back up. You can see this huge SPY, the NASDAQ, both technically green today. So that's good. All right, guys. We're almost to the close, but AMC's not actually scheduled to release theirs right at the close. They're scheduled to release theirs a couple minutes afterwards. House GOP has 9 days to avoid a government shutdown, according to Axios. All right, so the Bloomberg analysis said a brief window opens up tomorrow for the SEC to potentially approve the spot Bitcoin ETF, and it'll open for at least 8 days. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard so many people say, oh, I've heard a rumor that the ETF was going to be approved in the next 24 hours. And then that come and goes. Most of the time, these people are just pumping up their crypto holdings because they know they can. They can tell everybody they think that a rumor is that a spot Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved, and then it just doesn't. You know, they usually just kind of influence it, profit, and write off. All right, so we got a decent amount of votes. 80% people think on Twitter think they're going to beat. Let me look at our YouTube polls here. All right, we got almost 200 votes. 61% think they're going to beat. 39% think they're going to miss. See what aftermarket looks like. Twilio releasing at the close. Yeah, so Twilio, let me check. So yeah, Twilio releasing at 405 technically. Mirror 415, Affirm 405, Duolingo right at 4, HubSpot at 410. ARM is not actually releasing today, but Lyft drops theirs at 405. They're basically all at 405 plus, except for Duolingo, which releases right at 4. The rest of them drop. Like AMC is scheduled for 420. Mara is scheduled for 415. MGM is scheduled for 415. Affirm 405. HubSpot 410. Lyft 410 or 405. Disney 405. So most of them are 5 to 20 minutes past the open is when a large majority of them are going to be. Only one is right at 4 p.m. Hey guys, we got 2.5 minutes, a little bit over that, but we're getting close. Americans now need to make $114,627 a year to afford a median priced U.S. home, an all-time high according to Redfin. Ooh, a rupee afloat. That looks good. Twitter just has my ADD kicking. Again, Disney moving up. Q pull it back a little. I'm kind of bullish in this little move though, because you know, I think we got time to bounce a little bit before the open or before the close. What's up with earnings? There's another. They're lying, Bobby. Again, they're not out yet, man. Bro, if they were out, everybody would know. And not just that, not only would everybody know, but there would be big movements in the stock price, right? So if AMC earnings were actually out, there would be big movements. They're probably just trying to steal views. Adam, hey, Ron. Yeah, we're gonna stream the full call here, guys. We're not gonna promote other YouTubers though. All right, guys. Hey, Q up there to 373s, still moving. Again, AMC choppy right now, as it should be. We got a minute before the close, guys. 1 minute. We got Disney, AMC, Affirm. Can always count on you for earnings. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Randy. Yeah, we cover everything, brother. I'm telling you, we're here. We're here. We're on top of it, so you don't have to be. You know, if you hit the live button, you'll make sure you're caught up. All right, guys. Here's the close. Hit the notification bell. You'll get an alert anytime we go live. I don't think ARM is yeah, I don't think. All right, there's the closing bell. So the first one we're gonna pull up is Disney. And again, we're gonna cover everything here, team, like we always do. Yeah, we're streaming the earnings call. No lie, you made me go to Dairy Queen to get a Blizzard after the peanut butter shake. Ooh, man. You know what Dairy Queen is like? You know what's really good at Dairy Queen? Those strawberry dips. Those are so good, bro. They got a blueberry one too, but the strawberry it's cherry actually. The cherry ones, those are freaking good. All right, guys. So again, we're just kind of sitting back. There's AMC moving up. It's at 1018s right now. We're waiting, sitting tight, waiting for the actual earnings to drop, which should be any minute now. Hopefully, they stick to their time frame at 420. Disney, nothing yet. We're looking at Mara. Again, we can look at the schedule. Disney drops theirs in about 4 minutes. You know, along with Twilio, along with Affirm. Right, Duolingo just dropped, or they should be out. But yeah, but they didn't actually cover it. Lyft drops at 4:05 So IONQ, Lyft, Affirm, Twilio, and Disney drop theirs at 4:05. You'll know when earnings are out too, because you'll see a big move. Like earnings releases usually have like some pop to them. Like you're gonna see some big candles show up when earnings release. So that's how you'll know. All right, Duolingo reported 6-cent profit per share, revenue of 137.6 mil, net revenue of 2.81 mil, 63% daily active user growth, and 43% revenue growth in the third quarter, raising guidance as well for DOUL. So they're probably going up on that earnings report. Yeah, they're gapping up nice, up to 175 right now. So that's Duolingo. Again, we're sitting tight, waiting for everything to drop patiently. Butterfinger, Blizzard, bro. It's been so long since I had a Butterfinger, dude. I like Butterfingers. So that was like my go-to goat candy bar when I was a kid. Disney moving up to $85 a share. Not enough volume to really mean their earnings are out yet, but they are moving up a little bit. Again, everybody's saying they leaked or whatever it is. Like you'll see AMC move when the earnings are out. Like when AMC comes out, you'll see if it's good earnings, you'll see boom. If it's bad earnings, you'll see boom. It's gonna be a big move. It's not gonna be small. Duolingo ripping up right now. Duolingo ripping up. Disney still pushing up, but there's no volume with it, which means the earnings actually aren't out yet, technically. We got 2 minutes left until Lyft, IONQ, Disney, Twilio, and Affirm release theirs in about 2 minutes. And again, don't worry. We're going to stream them live like we always do, team. Also, I'm going to throw this thing in sub-only mode, so if you haven't already, listen. I'm not going to say I'll hate you if you don't subscribe, but I might. Do it now. I appreciate it. Again, I want to hit that 118,000 sub level. We're getting pretty freaking close to it, man. We need like 200 subs to hit 118K. I want to hit 120, but it's all good. I'll be content with 118,000 for today. AMC's call is scheduled for 5 p.m. unless they canceled it and I just didn't know about it. Get about 100% sure. AMC's earnings call is not going to be until 5 p.m. Let me check the schedule. I'm almost certain it's 5. Yeah, so it's not up. They're gonna alert me 15 minutes beforehand, and it's not. It's at 5 p.m. today for earnings. All right, guys. Hey, we got 30 seconds. Hey, thank you so much, Ramsey. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate the fact that you can laugh and let me troll you and still be supportive, Ramsey. I really do, bro. Most people, they get one thing wrong and I mess with them about it. Disney earnings are probably out. Most people, I get one thing wrong and I mess with them about it and they just freak out. Instacart just dropped their numbers as well. Look at Disney move, though. Disney probably just released theirs, although it kind of retraces right back. That's kind of off. It's not really moving that much like earnings are out either. Let me see. But yeah, thanks so much, Ramsey. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right, look at Disney. See, this is an earnings call being released. Look at Disney. Disney just ripped up, and I am in Disney right now. Hey. Take a little bit off real quick right now. Hold. There we go. Didn't get the best fill, but we were able to get some out. I just want to take a little bit off there. Disney helping me today for sure. Disney came out swinging with they posted revenue for the quarter grew 5 and 7% compared to prior quarter. They showed EPS. Diluted EPS increased to 14 cents from 9 cents, decreased to prior year, and for the year decreased to 1.29 for the year. Disney added 7 million core subscribers in the fourth quarter. Looking at some other metrics here too, but Disney out. ARM did report, bro. ARM is out, bro. What the heck, dude? Freaking IPOs. Look, we're going to put this up in chat. There's ARM's numbers. ARM posted 36-cent profit versus 27 or 26-cent estimates. Revenue of 806 versus 743. So ARM is actually out already, which is a shock because I thought ARM wasn't dropping until next week. They're gapping down pretty heavily from it. Disney actually retracing all the way back some. Disney posted 82-cent profit per share, 70-cent expected revenue of 21.24. They expected 21.35. We're going to put those numbers up in chat too so you can see it. How are you trading if the market is closed? Because it's not fully closed. It's extended hours right now. I can trade stocks in pre-market and after hours. It's not like the market's fully closed. AMC started to head up. Disney at $86. Again, we still got 12 and a half minutes left. 12 and a half minutes. Again, you could day trade or you could trade in after hours. It's not like you can't trade. You just can't use market orders. The real market closes at 8 p.m. All right, still waiting. AMC starting to head up, though. Almost back to flat. Up to 10.20 right now, 10.15. Disney pulling back a little bit, too. All right, Disney retracing here. Waiting for AMC to drop. ARM, guys. Like I said, I posted the ARM earnings. Man, they struggled, dude. All right, so Disney's still fighting back, doing okay. Affirm popping. Yeah, Affirm and a bunch of other stuff's probably out too. Is Bitcoin ripping up? Instacart posted as well. SEC has reportedly opened talks with Grayscale Investments on the details of the company's application to convert its trust product GBTC to a spot Bitcoin ETF, according to CoinDesk. Disney fourth quarter total Hulu paid subscribers came in at 48.5 mil. Disney Plus core came in at 112.6 mil. All right, so Disney doing well, man. It originally reacted negatively. Affirm is out, but nobody really cares about them. So nobody really updated it. I'm not reading their earnings call either. Take-Two came out. I'm not sure what they posted either. Yeah, Duolingo dropped right at the close. Yeah, the Taylor Swift concert thing was big for sure. Buy now, pay later is dying worse than credit debt. Yeah, for sure. Firm down. Broke 53, under 52s now. Still waiting for AMC, team. Still waiting for AMC. Again, let me know your predictions in chat right now. We got about 800 people here. We still got 10 minutes plus until these numbers come out. All right, remember, the actual earnings call is going to be streamed at 5 p.m. These numbers are expected to drop at 4:20 specifically. 4:20 is when AMC earnings are scheduled to come out. So again, we got about 10 minutes left before they drop. So stick around, guys. AMC earnings come out 4:20 Eastern Standard Time is when they're scheduled. But yeah, Disney came out on track to achieve $7.5 billion in cost savings. They're finally dipping down a little bit. Lyft just dropped their numbers too. Here's Lyft. We'll put that up in chat as well. Still waiting for AMC. You know, again, here's the full Disney numbers too. We put both of those up. Yeah, this is quarter 3. The Taylor Swift thing is probably not going to reflect until the next quarter. Hey, hit that like button, guys. We got 77 likes. We got over 800 people here now. I'm not going to say I hate you forever if you don't, but you guys know I will. Okay. Is my dog's barking? Are my dogs in the front yard? No, there's a Aussie Shepherd in the front yard that they're barking at. And they're like, get out of my yard. Well, people need to put their dogs on a leash, bro. Like, listen, it's one thing to have dogs. It's another thing to just let your freaking dog run around with no leash. Like, bro, all I'm saying is they're lucky my 2 German Shepherds are behind a gate. Because if they weren't, that Aussie Shepherd would be bye-bye, you know? Just overarching point, you know, put a leash on your dogs. AMC starting to move up a little bit. Over technically green on the day now. The previous closing price is at 10.22. AMC at 10.24 right now, so technically green. Dog should be Gotta go eat some popcorn, not AMC's popcorn. Ooh, man. Shot to my heart. And you're to blame. Yeah, we'll see. Again, I'm hoping we'll get something. Is it Firm out? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Firm's out. Firm's out, but nobody cares enough to actually like report them. So like they're out. I don't feel like going to their website and digging through these to find the numbers. And nobody else apparently, like nobody else in the entire stock market media has cared enough to report the Affirm earnings. And if we look at Affirm right now, it's like completely flat. All right. Yeah, again, I posted this to Twitter. AMC has actually had an okay like revenue quarters. Like here's AMC's last like 2.5 years of revenue. You know, so the revenue's trending okay. It's not like a bad trending revenue. Everybody's acting like, you know, it's still struggling to turn to profit, but it's still got time. Again, 420 is when these numbers are scheduled to come out. 420. I thought a firm doesn't report until 5 p.m. Now they're out already. You can see them move. All right, guys. Hey, we got 6 minutes. John Abrazo just made a prophecy that any stock will 100x. How do you feel about people that make prophecies like that, bro? I think it depends. Number one, I don't think it's a prophecy. I think it's a prediction. I think any looks bad. There's no volume. Terrible long-term chart. You know, been split a lot. You know what I mean? I just don't trust it. A firm rip it up though, right in my face here. Somebody cares about it. Look at a firm all the way up to 2340s, 2350s, breaking highs of the day, still pushing. Good for it. I'm unable to purchase any limit order for AMC because the market is closed. Might be your platform. I can buy AMC if I want. I'm already in AMC, but I can add more if I wanted. You just got to use a limit order. A firm rip it up. Again, you guys saw me take some off of Disney. All right, team, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Got about 900 people here live. Look at the firm still ripping. AMC starting to move up. Maybe just tech is helping out. I'm not sure. Here, hold on, guys. All right, guys. Sorry, we're back. New to the channel, excited for AMC earnings. Hey, good luck. I hope we go up. I'm holding AMC. Look at a firm just rip up in everybody's faces at 2450s. All right, guys. So again, AMC, you can see the live results right here. Fortnite sauce. Is crypto dumping right now? I thought there were rumors that the Grayscale ETF would get approved in a day. Oh, so it's just giving back the gains that it made, probably because somebody realized the Bitcoin spot ETF. AMC, rip it up right now, guys, at 1050s. 1050s for AMC. Are the earnings out? AMC out. Revenue of 1.4 billion. They expected 1.23 billion. I'm not sure what the EPS is, but the revenue is out. AMC did release their numbers. I'm still looking for Q3 numbers, but AMC is out with their numbers here. Again, AMC posted revenue of 1.4 billion, 1.4 billion EPS, and they are gabbing up. Market likes this. Look at this big move up, 1070s, 1070s. EBITDA is 193.7 mil versus 154.1 mil. AMC posted 9-cent loss per share. They expected a 38-cent loss. Sales of 1.41 beat the 1.17. Better than expected on both metrics for AMC. It's ripping up a lot. We'll put this up on screen. Again, so AMC did it. They posted positive numbers here. And again, this is good for me. You love to see it. See if we can find any other news here for it. They haven't actually updated on their site though. AMC pulling back a little bit at 1040s. Again, they posted a 9-cent loss per share. They expected a 38-cent loss per share. So a much smaller loss than expected. Much smaller loss than expected. This is quarter 3 results today, right? Yeah, quarter 3. They haven't updated their stock yet. But AMC beat. Dude. All right, guys. Again, AMC beat their numbers. We got over 1,000 people here. AMC turning, though. Again, don't worry. We're going to stream the 4 earnings call. You're going to get more in-depth details of all of this. I have to exit out of some of this stuff, too. I got too many screens up. Okay, so again, they posted a little bit early, but AMC mostly flat still on the day. All right, so AMC back testing the previous closing price, trying to head back up. All right, so rejecting at $10. Let's see if we can hold 10. Firm doing great. AMC down under 10. And again, we're going to stream the 4 earnings call. Don't worry. Disney still holding. All right, guys, we got 1,100 people here. So 76% of people were right. AMC did beat their metrics. They did better than expected here. All right, so this is going to be the quarter 3. $5 p.m. Still testing 9s, back under $10. All right, guys. So again, we're looking at other data here. Let's see if we can pop back up. We still got a couple minutes. We still got like 30 minutes before the actual call starts. So stick around, don't worry. Again, I'm looking for other stuff. Again, let me know if you think where you think AMC is going to close. I'm going to end this poll right now. So I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. We got almost 900 votes. And then I'm going to do another poll. AMC react. Get a little bit of lag on this computer, man. Positively or negatively to their quarter 3 earnings call. Will they react positively or negatively to their earnings call? Positive, negative. Positive reaction or negative. Vote on this poll right now. Yeah, we're going to stream the full call live. Full call stream live at 5 p.m. It's not over yet, guys. And AMC still testing that previous closing price. And we're going to put a timer up so you guys know. We're going to get about a minute early. Disney's still strong. Yeah, Disney has a call today too. Again, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep funded account program in futures. It's a great way to day trade if you don't like. A lot of day traders try to day trade penny stocks because they don't have that much buying power, or they try to day trade with a very small account, with a cash account. That's generally going to be very restrictive. It's almost impossible to maintain real profits that way, even though that's what most people sell courses on. But it's just, most of it's nonsense. The right way to day trade is the futures market. There's no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the NASDAQ, currencies, the S&P 500, futures contracts, gold, silver. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks, but there's no PDT rule. And funded account programs are allowed, like TopStep, where they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can hit the target on their demo without hitting the max loss and while following their rules, they fund you between 50,000 up to over 100,000 at 150,000 in funding with a 90% split. They pay out millions every year in actual withdrawals, fund thousands of traders a year. Again, no PDT in futures. Great way to learn how to day trade. If you lose, you're out $49 for the base one if you buy the base one. If you're good enough to pass it, you still keep 90%. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Limited risk. Great way to learn how to trade. And you still have some pressure to succeed, but you're not risking thousands like you would. So it's a great middle ground for traders. If you want to check it out, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm certainly biased in their favor because they pay me money. But if you want to check them out, here's the link. Yeah, sorry, Pawn. I don't even have Discord up, bro. My computer's kind of lagging, so if I look at Discord, I'm just going to look at my phone. Again, AMC's still pretty flat here. This could all change from the earnings call. A lot of the time, AMC announces stuff during their earnings call, so we'll see if they do. So looking at the short position by Pawn, I would show it, but again, my computer's lagging a little bit, so it's hard to. People get motivated by AA Ron talking. Some do, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll see. Will AMC do good or bad, guys? Let me know in chat from this earnings call. Yeah, the SAG strike's not over for sure. Just crash already. It's not even worth it. I don't know. I'm holding it. I hope it doesn't crash. You know? Dude, I am not feeling 100% today at all, bro. I went to jiu-jitsu still. I'm not sick. My stomach is in knots, dude. Again, I ate Rudy's barbecue. For all my Texas people out there, you guys know Rudy's. One of the better barbecue places here. The brisket's good, but I ate the beans and the brisket and right before I fell asleep. Like I literally ate it, and then 5 minutes later, I literally ate it in bed, and then 5 minutes later I fell asleep. Now I'm waking up. I'm nauseous. Stomach hurts. I still went to jiu-jitsu and armbarred some mofos, you know. And so I'm not feeling that bad, but my stomach is in freaking knots. Anyways, AMC over $10 here. Let's see if $10 holds. $10 is the double-digit level that you want to see it hold at. It's definitely a psychological level for sure. Again, we'll see if it actually holds. Also, Bank of America people thinking we're going to have a soft landing. We'll see what Big Papa says tomorrow. Powell speaks again tomorrow at 2 p.m. We got 30 minutes roughly until the market, until AMC earnings call starts. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, I mean, I'm married, but, you know, maybe it is the ex-girlfriend. Probably the beans. Yeah, I think that's what it was, actually. Hey, real talk, first time here. Is this an all stock community? Yeah, I mean, we're not even stocks, brother. I mean, we're stocks, but we cover everything, dude. We cover FOMC meetings. Like, we streamed Jerome Powell, had like 6,000 people watching when Jerome Powell spoke earlier. He didn't really talk about anything relevant, but he speaks again tomorrow. We're going to stream that. We're mostly an economic report channel, but we cover stock market, earnings, futures. You know, we trade futures every day at the open as well. But our big streams come from economic reports like CPI, PPI next week. You know, Jerome Powell, obviously, big earnings reports. I'm holding AMC though, so I'm in AMC. You know, and I hope it goes up. So it's not like I'm not wanting AMC to go up. But yeah, we cover everything that we can. We don't stream all the earnings calls, but all the big boys like Apple, Amazon, Google. You know, we stream those for sure. The Coles are definitely bad. Dakota for sure. Jenny. Never been with a Jenny. I guess Jenny would also be Jennifer. Never really been with a Jennifer. Not like, you know, never dated one. I think AMC can convince some short-term investors to be happy. Let's see if they can. Again, good numbers, better than expected numbers here. Look at Disney rip too. I mean, AMC posted a much smaller loss than expected. So their revenues also looking solid as well, and their revenue went up also. Do you think his speech tomorrow will affect markets significantly? It's hard to tell. Maybe, you know, possibly. Are we late on Mara release? You can always check by looking at it. Yeah, it doesn't look like Mara's out with theirs. I don't know what's going on that part. Lyft dropped better than expected EPS and revenue. EBITDA 92 mil, expected 82. So EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So they did better than there, which is basically like general income is what EBITDA is, but kind of like the ceiling you have with it. Never had barbecue in Austin. I'm in Houston area. Again, anybody from Texas that eats barbecue knows about Rudy's for the most part. It's kind of like a gas station barbecue place, but it's really good. If you want some like Cuban Mexican food, El Rey, the GOAT, like fast food Cuban Mexican place, it's really good. There's a bunch of good places here, bro. It's Texas. You know, I'm from Louisiana though, so I mean, naturally, you know, our food is better than y'all's food for sure. You know, Louisiana is definitely like best food in the world. But it's arguable. Just remember, guys, a year ago today, one of the greatest quotes and posts on Twitter of all time. Sam Bankman-Fried famously said 1 year ago today, number one, a competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. End quote. Sam Bankman-Fried 1 year exactly ago. What a guy. Disney at $87 a share, still surging back up. Hit 88 highs. Didn't really hold, but Disney looking pretty solid here with their numbers as well. MGM dropped numbers. They posted 64-cent profit per share versus 49 cents expected. Revenue of $4 billion. They expected $3.87 billion. They also announced a new $2 billion share buyback program for MGM. You know, I bought MGM during the C word, and it was at like $7 a share, bro. I wish I still had shares, dude. I was up like 100%, or like a little bit over that so quickly that I remember taking profit. But yeah, I bought MGM at like $6 a share. Like it was like $7 a share. It was something like that. Again, right now it's sitting at 40. So wish I would have held that. All right, AMC testing the previous closing price, trying to go green on the day. It's technically green for a split second. The previous closing price is right at $10.22. So if AMC can hold basically where it's at now and move up just a little bit more, it'll technically be green on the day. And I think that's an optimistic sign. Greetings from Italy. Okay, well, y'all might have me there, Italy. I've never actually ate genuine Italian food. My wife's Italian, you know, but like I've never actually eaten food like from Italy. at, like, you know, in Italy, I should say. Gi or no gi? Both. Yeah, I mean, I got my first stripe a couple days ago in jiu-jitsu, so I'm not like some good black belt or anything like that. But I'm one of the better white belts in my gym. Like, again, lately I've been arm barring people, you know, but usually my go-to sub is like a guillotine. I'm usually good at scrambles, and I'm kind of quick, and so I can usually kind of latch onto people's neck really easily on a guillotine. But my 3 go-to subs are like guillotine, arm triangle, and arm bar right now. Hey, what's up, Shepard? What about your wife? What about her? All right, AMC technically green on the day, guys. Technically green. It's up to 1020s. Let's see if it actually holds. Again, ARM, surprisingly, ARM was scheduled to release earnings, and then somebody came out and said they weren't dropping theirs until next week, and then they came out with theirs today anyway, and they are down big. Look at ARM right now. I'm in this too. I'm in a very small share size, but I'm in this right now. You don't love to see it. It's all the way down to $50 a share. All I eat is Taco Bell. See, Taco Bell's just not that good. It doesn't taste that good. Wrestlers cast. No, I'm not a wrestler. You're UFC ready? Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely top 3. Oh, yeah, I guess, Dario. Get your mind out the gutter, sir. I mean, she cooks for me, but like, and I know that's not what you meant, but I'm gonna just act like you didn't say that. Celsius is coming out as a company. I'm looking at this guy online, and he's talking about how he recently created a spreadsheet of 60,000 profitable blogs, a minimum of 10,000 views a month, minimum of 5,000 in revenue a month. I'm using it to find profitable blog niches, marketing partners, and biz content ideas. Yeah, but like, okay, so like running a channel like this is great. You know, like I make good money doing this, like probably better money than a lot of people realize. But the problem is like once you start making enough money, the next thing you want to put money into and spend your time creating is going to be something more passive, right? Like I'm not trying to create another brand like beginner trading. That's going to take too much work. This took a long time, years to build it. It brings in great money. But at this point in time, I want to use the money I have to give me more passive income. You know, I could buy bonds with it. I could buy the S&P, which I am. Obviously, I have a pretty decent portfolio. But you can buy annuity. I was learning about annuities yesterday, which are basically like life insurance contracts that pay you monthly. Looking at buying real estate again. So maybe buy properties, but Affirm flew up on their earnings. ARM reacted negatively. Affirm finally starting to pull back a little bit. Again, Affirm's lost a lot of hype. Yeah, AMC did beat everything. It had better than expected EPS and Rev King. So they did beat. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they lost. Like beat means they did better than expected. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean they went up. It doesn't mean they went down. It doesn't mean they were profitable. It doesn't mean they were losing. A beat just means they did better than expected. So if everybody expected AMC to come in at 38-cent loss per share and they show up at 9-cent loss, like a smaller loss than expected, that's a beat. Revenue came in higher than expected at 1.41 bill versus 1.17 bill. Again, that's a beat as well. Spend more money on marketing first time here. Hey, thank you so much, Dakota. I appreciate the $2, brother. Thanks so much, man. Again, we are at the actual earnings call in like 23 minutes. Dividend investing. I like dividends. But again, dividends are kind of like a benefit to just investing in general. Like the biggest edge you'll ever have is blue chip investing. You know what I mean? Buying healthy companies and then sitting on that for 20 years. You're almost guaranteed to, 20 years, you're going to 5x your portfolio in 20 years. So you put up, you put up 500K, and at the end of that, you'll have 2.5 mil over like what? Let me see a compound interest calculator. With compounding, which is a really important step. All right, so let's say we got 500,000. We're not going to do any monthly contribution. We're going to do 20-year. We'll do a 10% interest rate per year, annually compounding. We could do annually or we could do monthly compounding. I do annually. Okay, yeah, so it's actually more than that. So yeah, in 20 years, if you invest 500K in 20 years, it's going to turn into about 3.4 million. And again, that's the biggest edge you'll ever get. And I'm not saying day trading and investing isn't useful in small caps, but the biggest edge is buying and sitting. Gold has even outperformed this as well. Gold, again, I never shut up about gold because gold has 7x'd over the last 20 years. 7x, like 20, 25 years. It's gone up 7 times its value. Compare that to the S&P, which has gone up like 3.5x, and it's pretty impressive. Hey, thank you, Quentin. I mean, stuff could bring AMC up. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Dakota. You're saying I should spend more money on marketing because it's your first time here. And so if I paid more in marketing, people might find me sooner, so forth and so on. That you're either talking about that, or you might be thinking that I created these beats myself, which I certainly did not. I wish I could make beats like this. This is just royalty-free music. Either way, I appreciate it, you know. Where's bonds at today? Bond yields 10 years at 4.5%. So the 10 years been dropping down some. Where's the 20? Okay. All right, guys, 20 minutes, about 18 minutes, but still. Why would anything change with AMC every earnings, whether it's good or bad? The price tanks. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be rich. You know, like things change, businesses change. Some businesses you think are going to fail. Again, to put it into perspective, remember, guys, I talked about MGM. MGM after the 2020 crash was at 570 a share, you know. And so everybody was like, oh, this thing's going to fail. And if you looked at it back then, right, look at this trend, right? Tell me looking at this trend, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's nasty. This is a weekly chart. That's a nasty chart. But then when you zoom out, so companies can and do pivot and change and do well, right? Just because a company's struggling doesn't mean it's going to continue to struggle and vice versa. And I hope AMC goes up. Maybe I'm just bullish right now because I hope it goes up. You provide a lot of value and I'm not even selling you anything. Never do anything for free. See, I disagree though, bro. What sets my channel apart, Dakota, just to understand it, brother, is like in the trading market, you got all these gurus out here selling courses. They're selling stock picks, right? They're charging all these money and they're really doing pressure marketing. They're trying to talk about how, you know, how great their stock picks are, how great they are, all that good stuff. Hold on one second. All right, sorry, I'm talking to my wife. But no, what I mean by that is like that market is saturated. I get paid from YouTube, brother. Listen, like I said, man, people, look, I make 6 figures of doing this for sure, like without question. You know, really, I make, you know, I'm not going to go into how much I make, but like we make good money. I make my money on the back end though, is what you have to understand, you know? So like I could charge money for my content and, you know, that's cool and all. Or I could give everything away for free and make money on the back end with marketing. And that's what I do. You know, I'm not here out the kindness of my heart. I'm doing this to make money, as is anybody else. And I wouldn't trust anybody that says they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart, because that's usually a fugazi, you know. It's so, but it's all good, bro. All right, bud. Hey, yeah, just sit down. You can watch, play Scratch. You gotta turn the volume down though, dude, okay? Sorry. Hey, no, turn that down, buddy. All right, sorry, guys. Yeah, I mean, sometimes reactions to earnings, Gino, are nonsensical, brother. Not saying charge money, you can make the free stuff more available. I feel you, man. I get it. And I appreciate, you know, any advice. It's all good, bro. So Gino says, I don't understand this reaction. The realists come from Baton Rouge. Hey, thank you, Keen. Yeah, BR. I haven't been there in so long, bro. It's my hometown. I love Baton Rouge. Go Tigers, go Saints. But this has been a while. Anyways, Gino says, I don't understand this reaction. I'm going to try to teach you, not teach you, but you got to understand this. If earnings reactions were that simple, everybody would be rich. Like, if all I had to do was sit here and wait for a company to post better than expected EPS, better than expected revenue, it would, and then click buy if it did, everybody would be rich. It's just not that easy. What you have to understand is that it's much, much, much more nuanced than that, right? So, like, when you zoom out a little bit to give some base understanding of what I mean, when you look at it, you have to think about not what the stock price is doing now, but what the stock price has been doing for the last 2.5 weeks heading into this earnings report. Different executives, traders, investors are front loading into a potential expected outcome from this earnings report, right? And so in that regard, AMC is up a lot over the last 10 days. And so the easiest way to explain why AMC didn't have some crazy parabolic reaction to the upside is most likely because AMC had already, like, bullish action was already baked into it. Like, potential bullish earnings were already baked into that. Like, people had already anticipated that and took in positions already, to where when the earnings came out, they're either taking profit quickly or doing whatever. And so it's just not that easy. I wish it was, because like I said, if it was as easy as just kind of sitting around waiting for a company to beat EPS and beat revenue and post good guidance, and that it was just going to auto go up, everybody would be rich. It'd be too easy to make money. And the market's never too easy. You know, there's always a balanced market, and there's a lot of nuance behind it, you know. Good food comes from BR. BR's good, man. I mean, you got some good people there. Good food for sure. Go to Serap's, go to Al Bash's, you know. If you're ever in Baton Rouge, go to Serap's or Al Bash's. Really good Lebanese food. Right, exactly. Thanks for the donation. Even more so when you take into account if a company does well, it might push them to sell because an overweight situation on hedge funds. 100% extension plays a factor. Positions for hedge funds and other funds certainly influences it. It's really, really, really nuanced. It's not something that you just have good earnings and the stock price goes up. Again, I wish it was like that, because I would just kind of sit around and wait for companies to report and then just click buy if they did well and click sell or short if they didn't. But unfortunately, it's just not like that. In my country, gurus charge $300 for Forex mentorships. Yeah, I talked about this earlier. I was watching that Catfish. I was watching this YouTube channel called Catfish. And there was this dude who got caught up in one of those Forex scams, bro. Basically, he must have followed somebody in the comments or had done something, and he went to one of those pages and they were like, yeah, we can give you 300% returns in a week. And it's like, guys, anybody claiming to give you anything over, I would say anything over like 1 or 2% gains a week is completely fake. And even anybody claiming 1 to 2% gains in a week is not sustainable ever. Again, if you can make over 20% on a year in trading and investing consistently, you are the elite of the elite. Very few people in the world can achieve that, regardless of what anybody's selling a course telling you that you can make 5% daily or whatever it is. And so people get taken advantage of because you got these scammers that promise these crazy big returns, and a lot of them are just overseas. They do this for a living. They scam people for a living, and they talk this dude into, and they use like a pretty girl, of course, in the background, and she's like, hey, deposit 5,000 into your account. And so he gives him 5,000. He sends it through crypto. And then all of a sudden the next week, she's like, yeah, we turned your 5K into 30K. So then he has dollar signs in his eyes. And they're like, oh, if you want more, just donate more. We can keep doing this. So then he puts in 20K. And then they're like, yeah, we turned your 20K into 130K. And so then he's like, okay, I'm rich. He's like planning his life around it. And then he starts to like sweet talk the girl, who's obviously probably some dude in India or wherever. He starts to sweet talk her and be like, hey, what's up? You want to move in with me when I get the money? And they just talk him into sending like $300,000 to these random scammers. It's unfortunate, but that's how they get you. I see them a lot in the comment section as a YouTuber. They're really prevalent in the comment section where people are just like, hey, expert Bill over here can make me $3,000 or whatever it is. It's worse than that. 5% weekly is not even possible unless you're in some sort of bull run. Yeah, I mean, it's possible to make 5% in a week for sure. In something, right? Stocks move up and down 5% all the time. So it's possible to earn 5% in a week. But like the S&P 500 will give you 10% on average yearly, right? Not every year, but on average each year. But sometimes you're going to have bearish years. Like you're not going to be green every year. And so what that means is that on the good years, a lot of the time the market will move up much more than 10% to compensate for the years where we crash or we come down a little bit. And so it's possible to make 5% in a week. What's not possible is to recreate that every week. It's just like making 1% a day is possible. You got to take some big risk to do it. But what's not possible is to recreate that over and over again. It's just not feasible. It's not sustainable. It's not really possible to do that. But you got a lot of people that are selling day trading courses that are just promising people the world. They're like, yeah, you can make 5%. If you can make 2% a day, bro, 2% a day, that's 10% weekly. That's 40% a month, 43% a month if you take into account like 40% would be a 28-day month. So again, that's just not possible. But that's how a lot of people get taken advantage of because they want to get rich, and they try to rush it. And you can't really rush the market. It's not that easy. You just follow what big money does if you want to know what actually works. Anyways, AMC's earnings call starts in about 8 minutes here, guys. About 8 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I was watching that video, and honestly, I hate saying it, but to a certain extent, it's Darwinism. Like, to a certain extent, you got to be smarter than that. Like, a lot of it is taking advantage of the older population. Again, I've said this like a bunch of times on stream now, but one lady, she was like the 60-year-old, like I'm not trying to be mean, but I didn't personally find her attractive. She thought that she was in an online relationship with Johnny Depp. She was like the 6-year-old biker chick. She thought she was in a relationship with Johnny Depp and that he needed her to send him gift cards. And she was sending Johnny Depp hundreds of dollars in gift cards every month and thought it was legitimately him. I felt for her, but like, bro, you gotta be smarter than that, Yeah, I don't sell options. There's just a lot of risk that comes with it. Sean says AMC is disliked by Wall Street. They have short interest, so they will often short during these events to stop AMC, unfortunately, because it's a meme stock. They ball AMC up with other companies like GameStop. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think GameStop's going to be a struggle. And I know like the ape community, they support GameStop to a certain extent. But the problem with GameStop is that the business model is now obsolete. Like the business model doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? Like the video games have obviously turned a corner to where you don't need to buy physical copies anymore. And so GameStop's entire business model, which is mostly buying and selling used games, is on its way out. It's obsolete now, right? And so, you know, they could sell consoles, sure, but consoles really only drop new ones. At least new consoles come out once every decade, maybe. And so there's just GameStop's got to do something. I've talked about it before. It has to pivot in some way to a different business model, whether that's like, I would go with like collectibles, Pokemon cards, comic books, maybe, you know, and there's a lot of, they mesh well with each other. You know, that's what I would personally go with. But, you know, we'll see. All right, so guys, we got the earnings call on ready here. It starts in about 5 minutes. I watched Catfish 2 and saw those episodes. Do you think they do more good than harm? I think they probably do more good. Here's an example of that. I watch it with my daughter, right? My daughter's 14. I watch it with her so that she understands if, like, hey, if there's some handsome looking kid that reaches out to you and he's like, hey, what's up, on the internet, and flatters you and says some really flattering things, and then wants you to like sneak away and meet up with them. Now she understands it's probably some 60-year-old man named Bob being a creep, you know? And so I think in that regard, it's a good thing because it helps her to recognize that, like, not everybody's who they say they are on the internet, you know? But I'm sure there's also the other side of that where it affects people negatively, you know? GameStop needs to buy Funko Pop? Yeah, maybe. Funko Pop, I don't know. You know, I grew up in the 90s. And so the problem with Funko Pop is that, you know, a lot of people think they're going to appreciate over time and that they're going to be like collectibles and that they're going to make, you know, money or whatever from them over time. But that's not necessarily guaranteed. You know, it's just not necessarily guaranteed. And so I think, you know, Beanie Babies were a big thing in the 90s. Everybody thought they were going to get rich with them and that they were going to be a fortune. And now when you look back, most of them aren't, you know, like most of them are just not. They're not what they want. They weren't as profitable as people expected them to be. And so I have a feeling, and the problem with Beanie Babies is that they produced so many of them. They created so many of them that it diluted the value. And I think that's also a problem with Funko Pop as well. But I think it's big. My daughter loves Funko Pop too. So, you know, I might be wrong there, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, we got the earnings call starting pretty soon. AMC very flat at $10 a share right now. Yeah, I don't know. I disagree with Adam Aron a lot. I think that, you know, he said that the ape divvy was going to be great for the company, and then they did the ape divvy, and then, you know, a few months later he said getting rid of the ape divvy was the best thing for the company, and then they did that. He's just not necessarily consistent. I think he panders a little bit too much to the ape community, and I think to a certain extent he treats them like they're dumb, you know, like he can just kind of say or do whatever, and you know, at the end of it put a rocket ship, and that they're just going to blindly support him. And so in that regard, I'm a little skeptical of Adam Aron, but like I can't say too many bad things about him. He's had a tough time with theaters in general being, you know, after the pandemic and how 2020 affected him. It's a tough road out of that, you know. Especially when you got all the big institutions like kind of rooting for AMC's failure as well. It's just it's a tough battle, I guess. Difficult job for him, I'm sure. Anyways, AMC at $10 a share. Yeah, either way, they did sell a lot of Beanie Babies for sure. right, so yeah, AMC's about to drop. I'm gonna put this out and then just put AMC up. I'm gonna mute the. Y'all can hear the music, correct? Oh, let me switch my headphones out. Actually. Can you hear the music now? Let me know if you can hear the music right now. I just want to make sure it works before the earnings call because we're waiting on hold for the earnings call. I just want to make sure y'all will be able to hear it. I mean, it could go up for sure. I mean, we don't know if it will, but it could certainly. All right, good. All right, so yeah, we're sitting on hold for the earnings call, waiting for it to start. It should start within 30 seconds. Get rid of this music. All right, guys, you guys ready? Yeah, turn the music off for a second. We're waiting for the call to start. It should start any time now. Just stand by. All right, guys, almost starting. We're just waiting for them to start.
And gentlemen, and welcome to the AMC Entertainment third quarter 2023 earnings conference call. At this time, all lines are in a listen-only mode. Following the presentation, we will conduct a question-and-answer session. Instructions will be provided at that time for you to queue up for a question. If anyone has any difficulties hearing the conference, please press star zero for operator assistance at any time. I would now like to turn the conference over to John Merriweather. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Jenny. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to AMC's third quarter 2023 earnings webcast. With me this afternoon is Adam Aron, our Chairman and CEO, and Sean Goodman, our Chief Financial Officer. Before I turn the webcast over to Adam, let me remind everyone that some of the comments made by management during this webcast may contain forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations. Numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors may cause actual results to differ materially from those that might be expressed today. Many of these risks and uncertainties are discussed in our most recent public filings, including our most recently filed 10-K and 10-Q. Several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability of the company to control or predict. In light of the uncertainties inherent in any forward-looking statements, listeners are cautioned against relying on these statements. The company undertakes no obligation to revise or update any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events. On this webcast, we may reference non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, constant currency, free cash flow, operating cash burn, operating cash generated, among others. For a full reconciliation of our non-GAAP measures to GAAP results, please see our earnings release posted in the Investor Relations section of our website earlier this afternoon. After our prepared remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. This afternoon's webcast is being recorded, and a replay will be available in the Investor Relations section of our website at amctheaters.com later today. With that, I'll turn the call over to Adam.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's almost impossible to contain our pride as the record-setting strength of AMC's third quarter 2023 financial results. Fresh on the heels of our recent record Q2 results, we set the bar even higher in Q3. For both revenue and adjusted EBITDA, these were the single best third quarter results in AMC's entire 103-year history. By definition, revenue and adjusted EBITDA beat last year's third quarter. They beat the third quarter of 2019, which was the last Q3 unaffected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And for that matter, they beat every third quarter results that AMC has ever reported. Once again, AMC exceeded consensus estimates and market expectations across the board. And we did so handily. AMC was literally in a different ballpark of accomplishment than many third-party observers anticipated. Sean will discuss these exceptional third quarter results in more detail during his prepared remarks. But suffice it to say, AMC is posting revenues exceeding $1.4 billion, adjusted EBITDA of $194 million, and positive net income of $12 million is a feat that has us all smiling in Leawood, Kansas. The entire quarter was rejuvenating for AMC, and July especially was meaningful, as it was the second highest grossing month in AMC's entire century-long history. Global attendance at AMC theaters tallied more than 73.5 million guests in the third quarter of 2023, up 38.4% over the third quarter of the prior year. It set a high watermark for quarterly attendance in the post-pandemic era. AMC's attendance in Q3 2023 was the highest since the fourth quarter of 2019. Moviegoers returned to AMC theaters in ever-increasing numbers in the third quarter of 2023 in response to both our studio partners' efforts to increase the quantity and quality of new releases, combined with AMC's continuing commitment to enhancing the guest experience enjoyed at our theaters. This continuance of AMC's being on a glide path to recovery is notable for three key aspects. First, the industry-wide box office is finally showing some strength. Second, we ended the quarter with $730 million of cash, and we remain committed to ensuring that our cash reserves remain robust. And third, AMC's contribution per patron was up 30% from pre-pandemic norms. I want to repeat that number for emphasis so that you all hear it and understand its significance. AMC's contribution per patron was up 30% from that of 4 years ago. As a result, AMC has demonstrated, at least for this quarter, that we can report a healthy amount of adjusted EBITDA or be free cash flow positive without a complete return of the box office to pre-pandemic levels. Although pre-pandemic levels of box office would certainly be preferable. As for that box office, this was an inspiring quarter that saw the North American, the so-called domestic box office, surge to $2.7 billion, exceeding Q3 2022 by 38% and achieving 95% of the pre-pandemic Q3 2019's box office. This is the closest our industry has come to quarterly box office levels that were considered normal in pre-pandemic times. As for our cash, the reason that AMC Odeon has been surviving this ravaging pandemic, happily staying away from the bankruptcy courts, and why big chains like Cineworld Regal or small chains like Alamo Drafthouse or ArcLight did not, is because at AMC, we have been maniacal in building up our cash reserves. For those trying to understand how AMC successfully has been defying gravity these past 3.5 years, having ample cash on hand is the secret sauce. It is having sufficient cash reserves that has enabled AMC's resilience heretofore, and therefore we will continue to seek equity capital when it appears smart to do so. As for our vastly improved contribution per patron, this is the real enduring lesson of AMC's third quarter results. Yes, we benefited from Barbenheimer and from Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Sound of Freedom, and Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, among other films. But if you look at attendance rather than box office dollars, the domestic industry attendance in Q3 was actually 16% down from the third quarter of 2019. And yet, AMC was more profitable. Attendance down, profits up. This came from the cumulative impact of all of the many actions we have taken, especially over the past 3.5 years, to change our fate. Those actions include: 1, a focus on expense management in a challenging inflationary environment. 2, the pruning of our theater fleet by closing marginal theaters and opening successful new ones. 3, cooperatively renegotiating many theater rents with our theater landlords. 4, leading the industry with our having more customer-pleasing premium large format screens than any of our competitors. 5, AMC's innovative moves to sell other things, everything from Barbie-themed pink Corvette models sold in our theaters to microwavable home popcorn sold on the shelves of Walmart. 6, all of the many innovative marketing and pricing AMC initiatives which have caused us to achieve dramatic increases in revenues per patron, especially in our high-margin food and beverage activities, as well as, number 7, capitalizing on the many scale advantages and opportunities that accrue to AMC by being the largest movie theater company in the U.S., in Europe, and globally. Now, I'll pass this webcast over to Sean to provide more details on the financial results of Q3, after which I'll return to talk about some of our ongoing initiatives and AMC's thoughts about the future. Sean?
Thank you, Adam. And thank you to everyone for joining us this afternoon. As Adam just said, in the third quarter, we achieved 2 notable financial milestones. 1, our best revenue and adjusted EBITDA since pre-pandemic 2019, and 2, the highest revenue and the highest adjusted EBITDA for any third quarter in AMC's entire 103-year history. Of course, this also means that we beat pre-pandemic Q3 2019 adjusted EBITDA, and we did this by a resounding 24%. And this is a remarkable achievement because our attendance was nearly 16% lower than in Q3 of 2019. Yet, despite having 13.5 million fewer guests, we grew revenue by 6.8%, or $89 million, and we grew adjusted EBITDA by 24%, or $37 million. This result clearly demonstrates the success of the actions that we have taken over the last 4 years to really elevate the guest experience, optimize our theater fleet, manage our expenses, and improve our efficiency and overall profitability metrics. These results clearly illustrate our ability to deliver solid financial outcomes even when the industry box office and attendance fall below pre-pandemic levels. With a third quarter North American box office of $2.7 billion, which is 38% above the prior year, we grew revenue by 45.2% to $1.4 billion. We grew adjusted EBITDA by $206.6 million to $193.7 million. And we grew net cash provided by operating activities by $289.5 million to a positive $65.9 million. With this quarter's results, we've now extended our unbroken string of positive adjusted EBITDA quarters to 4, and for the first time since 2018, we've generated a second consecutive quarter of positive net earnings and positive earnings per share. Now I'll turn to the North American business. Total revenue for the quarter increased by 41.2% compared to Q3 of 2022. This was driven by an attendance increase of 34.4%, which was helped by an increase in our market share. Admissions revenue per patron increased by 4.8%, and food and beverage revenue per patron increased by 4.1%. Note that the revenue generated per patron for this quarter was 30.1% above pre-pandemic Q3 of 2019, and the contribution dollars per patron, which is defined as the revenue per patron less film exhibition and food and beverage costs, was 35.9% above Q3 of 2019. In the international business, on a constant currency basis, total revenue increased by approximately 50%, compared to Q3 of 2022. This was driven by an attendance increase of 48.5%, admissions revenue per patron increase of 10.8%, and food and beverage revenue per patron increase of 10.5%. Note that international revenue per patron and contribution dollars per patron for the quarter were 18.4% above pre-pandemic Q3 of 2019, as measured in constant currency. Moving to cash flow and the balance sheet. We ended the quarter with cash and cash equivalents of $729.7 million. Operating cash generated, a non-GAAP measure representing cash from operating activities after deducting capital expenditures and before both debt servicing costs and deferred rent payback, was a positive $109 million, an improvement of $288 million compared to Q3 of 2022. Capital expenditure, net of landlord contributions, was $49.8 million for the quarter. This brings our year-to-date net CapEx to $137.5 million. Based on our expected CapEx spend in Q4, we now anticipate net CapEx for 2023 to be in the range of $175 to $225 million. During the third quarter, we continued to actively manage our theater portfolio. We added 1 new theater and we closed 3. This brings the total number of locations that we have closed since the pandemic began to 156, and the total new locations opened to 57, for a net reduction of 99 locations. This portfolio rationalization, together with ongoing landlord negotiation, has unequivocally resulted in a more profitable theater portfolio. Just as an illustration of our effective rent expense management, it's worth noting that Q3 2023 rent was 5.6% below the same period in 2019 in constant currency. This despite the significant CPI increases over the last 4 years. Going forward, while we continue to invest in our business and the guest experience, our top 2 capital allocation priorities must remain: 1, to ensure that we have sufficient liquidity to manage through our recovery period, and 2, strengthen our balance sheet. Now, we've made considerable progress in these 2 areas. During the third quarter, we successfully raised $325.5 million of gross equity capital. We repurchased $24 million of debt at an average discount of 28%, and we also repaid $22.3 million of deferred rent. The deferred rent balance at the end of Q3 was $74.2 million, and we plan to reduce this balance by another $20 million by the end of this year. So year-to-date, 2023 year-to-date, we have now raised $550 million of gross equity capital. We've lowered the principal value of our debt by $289 million through debt repurchases or exchanges of debt for equity, and we've repaid $83 million of deferred rent. All told, we have reduced our debt and deferred rent liabilities by $372 million thus far in 2023, and a total of $764 million since the beginning of 2022. In summary, Our results for this quarter clearly show the positive impact of the significant enhancements that we have made and will continue to make to grow and to strengthen the business. As we navigate through this recovery phase, which may be extended by the Hollywood strikes, our primary financial priority will be to ensure ample liquidity while concurrently continuing to make progress reducing debt and fortifying our balance sheet. Of course, we will also continue to pursue growth initiatives opportunistically as they make sense. We believe that this approach overall will best position us to thrive in the future. And now I'll hand the webcast back over to Adam.
Thank you, Sean. The successes of 2023, and the third quarter in particular, have clearly illustrated the allure and power of theatrical exhibition, movies in theaters on the giant screen. Before we move to questions from our investors and from equity analysts, I'd like to quickly update you on 6 specific topics. First, merchandise. You may recall that we started getting serious about merchandise sales at our theaters and on our website as a result of specific shareholder suggestions that came in from our retail investors. We embraced the idea thoroughly, and quietly, it has become a pleasant success story. It was literally a non-existent business for AMC in 2021. In 2022, we grossed about $10 million in merchandise sales. But by year-end 2023, it will be more than a $50 million revenue source for us this year. Way to go, shareholders. Keep those good ideas coming in. Second, popcorn in the home. Our lines of ready-to-eat and microwavable AMC Perfectly Popcorn have been a huge hit. Our 6-month exclusive deal with Walmart stores and Walmart.com proved to us, proved to Walmart, and proved to other retailers that consumers find AMC's product offering in this area to be compelling. So, in addition to continuing with Walmart, I am pleased to announce today that over the next 2 months, we will be rolling out AMC Perfectly Popcorn to Kroger stores, including their approximately 12 brands of supermarkets around the country. And before Christmas, we expect to be placing it on the shelves of all of Publix supermarkets as well. And if all goes according to plan, by Black Friday of this month, the day after Thanksgiving, AMC Perfectly Popcorn will be available nationwide on Amazon.com as well. Third, given our success in branding our popcorn, in November and December, this month and next, we also will be introducing a new line of AMC conceived and branded gourmet chocolate candies called AMC Cinema Sweets. Our first SKUs will be chocolate-covered pretzels, chocolate-covered almonds, chocolate-covered peanuts, and chocolate-covered raisins. Essentially, our learning at this company in this area is that just about anything tastes a whole lot better if it's drenched in chocolate. AMC's strategy here will be to offer a top-of-the-line quality treat with some of the finest chocolate made and lots of it. Even though ours will be a gourmet line, we will sell at the same price as mass market brands. That's something that AMC can do given the huge demand for candy products that exists within a movie theater environment, without a requirement for us to run up massive distribution or marketing costs. At least initially, AMC Cinema Sweets will only be sold in AMC theaters. And of course, in addition to carrying our own line of AMC Cinema Sweets, we'll continue to stock on the shelves at our theaters the many name brand candy products that are there today. Fourth, I'd like to address the situation that our industry has encountered for almost 6 months now due to the writers and actors strikes. It's gone on for almost half a year. The short-term impacts of the writers and actors strikes will cause additional and needless challenges for AMC in 2024. Projects will get delayed from 2024 into future periods. Without taking sides as to who is to blame for this labor stoppage or how the labor challenges should be resolved in negotiation, we strongly encourage all the parties involved to come to the negotiating table with the intent of reaching an agreement immediately. There has been and will be much collateral damage from these lengthy work stoppages. For the benefit of all involved in the movie ecosystem, AMC believes that this month-long disharmony needs to come to an end now. Whether one thinks of a studio executive or of a union member in the creative community, it is ever so important that everyone in Hollywood returns to the task of creating world-class entertainment that is admired and greatly enjoyed the world over. Fifth, I'd like to quickly comment on our laser projection upgrade. It is categorically accurate to say that the future for AMC continues to get brighter, thanks to our ongoing transition to laser projectors at our theaters. They increase on-screen light levels by 50% to 100%. As a result, the images on the silver screen are getting sharper and brighter as every week passes. By the end of 2023, AMC will have converted more than 37% of our auditoriums across the United States to laser projection. Not only does this deliver improved picture contrast, more vivid color, and greater picture brightness for our guests, this is the biggest single green initiative ever undertaken by AMC. Laser projection is environmentally friendly because it eliminates the problem of having used xenon bulbs, and it brings a significant reduction to our energy consumption efforts as we show movies to moviegoers. And finally, topic 6, which is about the only thing we've been talking about around here in the last 5 months. Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. What can we say of our gratitude to Taylor for entrusting AMC to distribute her Eras Tour concert movie to some 100 countries across the planet? As you likely know, with ticket sales expected to hover around $250 million, the Eras Tour is already the highest grossing concert film in history. And at the domestic box office, Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour was the second highest grossing movie of all time for any and all genres to be launched during the month of October. That's our role as distributor. As for our role as exhibitor, AMC's market share of ticket sales sold for Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour was unusually high. So, both as distributor and exhibitor, AMC benefited handsomely, both reputationally and financially, from our having taken on this project. And that benefit will not be a one-time thing. As we announced just a few weeks ago, AMC Theatres Distribution is following its success with Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour with a concert film release of Beyoncé's Renaissance World Tour. Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé, will be released globally on December 1. We are so privileged to be working with artists like Taylor Swift and Beyoncé as they bring their creative vision to their fans, and we do so too in the United States and around the world. For what it is worth, in working with two of the most admired pop stars on the planet, we already have touched lightning. All of us at AMC are now passionate Swifties and are proudly in the Beehive. We are optimistic, though, that this will lead to much more ahead. This is not just a one-time thing in 2023. We believe that we will have several more concert film products in 2024 and 2025. We intend to be working with some of the most known and most loved musical artists the world has ever known. For those of you who don't think that this will prove to be transformational for AMC, watch this space. If, as, and when more artists come on board, there is significant incremental profitability ahead for AMC from our going down this sizable, fan-filled road. If one were to think back to March of 2020, if I had to summarize our view as we sit here today, go back to a time when all theaters were shut and think about what has transpired since. You'll note that the recovery of the movie industry and of the movie theater industry has not been a straight line. Indeed, to the contrary, it's been a wild ride with pauses and turns that no one would have predicted. Through it all, though, AMC has clearly emerged as the leader of the pack. And we've done so backed by an army of enthusiastic shareholders. Looking ahead, there likely will be challenges for us to conquer still. A prolonged actors' strike and rising interest rates are not helpful. We still have significant debt to pay down or to refinance, although that's mitigated somewhat because most, but not all, of our current maturities do not start before 2026. But looking again at sort of the glass half empty, many of our shareholders are incensed, truly incensed, by stock market practices that they do not trust. If that's not enough, there's war in Europe and there's war in the Middle East. The list of problems we dealt with goes on and on and on. But if there ever was a time to look past the immediately foreseeable challenges of the day, for AMC, it might be right now, right after reporting AMC's third quarter 2023 earnings. It was, after all, the single best third quarter for AMC in some 103 years. These were stellar results. To our shareholders listening in to this webcast, we hope you share our pride in the progress that's being made by AMC. This, after all, is your company, and we benefit in so many ways from your enthusiasm and from your passion for AMC. With that, Sean, let's now move to questions from our shareholders and industry analysts. And as a change of pace, let's start with questions from industry analysts in a lead-off position, and then we'll take questions from our shareholders, batting cleanup, so to speak, as we close out today's call.
Jenny, can you provide instructions?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press the star followed by the 1 on your touchtone phone. You will hear a 3-tone prompt acknowledging your request. Questions will be taken in the order received. Should you wish to cancel your request, please press the star followed by the 2. If you are using a speakerphone, please lift the handset before pressing any keys. Your first question is from Alicia Reese from Redbird. Please ask your question.
Hey, Adam and Sean, how you guys doing? Nice quarter. Congrats on that.
Thank you. To answer your question, we're doing well because it was a nice quarter, as you just said.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks.
It was indeed. So I have a couple questions. First of all, I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more quantitatively in terms of Taylor Swift, in terms of the distribution versus just exhibiting this film, and same for Beyonce. If you could talk about that quantitatively, what's the benefit of distributing that in terms of market share or in terms of film rent? And if not that, then talk a little bit more qualitatively about that if you can.
Sure, let's talk quantitatively first. We know it to the penny. I mean, literally to the penny, and it's sizable. But those are stats that we're going to unveil on the fourth quarter call, not on the third quarter call. For what it's worth, we did very well. We're going to make a handsome profit from having facilitated what was in July only an in-stadium concert tour, getting it converted to film and getting it in theaters quickly. As I said, we know the numbers. We know them cold. We review them almost daily with the entourage that surrounds Taylor. We're all smiling. They're smiling. We're smiling. Our market share is abnormally high of the tickets sold. And I think that in part is because we've been so committed to the project. It's pretty hard to pick up a newspaper anywhere in the world or to go on the internet and look at news and not see the AMC name connected to Taylor Swift. Beyonce's right behind it. As you know, Taylor's film has grossed, in 4 weeks, it's grossed $165 million domestically and about $240-something million, $220 million globally. It's still going in theaters. It's not stopping at 4 weeks. There will be a weekend 5 and weekend 6 and weekend 7 and weekend 8. And so the numbers will continue to grow. We don't expect that Beyonce's concert tour will be as large in theater as was Taylor's, but we do expect it to be significant and meaningful, and both the Eras Tour and the Renaissance Tour taken together will provide a healthy bite of profitability for AMC in calendar year 2023. What's also exciting to us is not just the profitability that comes our way this year, but our prospects for 2024 and 2025. Our phone has been dancing off the hooks, really since the day we announced the Eras Tour project on August 31st. There are a significant number of the world's best artists who would like to explore doing things with AMC that Taylor and Beyonce Knowles Carter just did. So again, I think our prospects are this is a money-making venture in 2023, and it will be a money-making venture for us in 2024 and beyond. I also would like to say that as much credit as AMC has received from taking the lead on this project, and I might add that, with the writers and actors strikes, there were some movies that were going to move out of the fourth quarter. So there were some holes in the calendar in the fourth quarter. It was a pleasant thing for movie theater operators the world over to have an unanticipated gift of a Taylor Swift concert film and a Beyonce Knowles Carter concert film added to the calendar for the fourth quarter, just literally, a month or two in advance of the quarter commencing. We could not have done this alone. And I would specifically like to give credit to so many of our competitors who also chose to play the Taylor Swift movie and the Beyonce movie. We could not have done this without the cooperation of Cinemark and Regal, or of Cinépolis and Cinemex in Mexico, or Cineplex in Canada. And it's also true that literally all across the globe, movie theater chains in some 100 countries have embraced the showing of the Eras Tour and the Renaissance Tour. So this is something that is particularly good for AMC because we did it, but it's particularly good for our entire industry because literally just about everyone in our industry is benefiting from the incremental revenue that no one would have expected to see just a few months ago. As for the specifics of the question, Alicia, I promise I'll give you every number there is, but we're going to do it on the next call.
Yeah, that makes sense. Appreciate that. If I can ask one more, just wondering if you can give some commentary around the premium large format screens and the impact on your market share as the biggest footprint for IMAX, Dolby, and then how your proprietary PLFs are performing across your circuit right now.
Sure. So I actually think this is one of the biggest success stories of AMC. When we look at our PLFs, and that's IMAX, Dolby Cinema, Prime here in the United States, iSense in Europe. They are our most successful screens. First of all, they sell first, and they fill higher than regular screens. If you take a look at the box office dollars for us of a premium large format screen, it essentially becomes the equivalent of 4 regular screens. Think about that. You know, every one of our PLFs on average is grossing about 4 times that of a regular screen. And in the case of AMC, we have 550 of these things around the world. No one anywhere comes close to the number of PLFs that we have. About half of all the IMAX screens in North America are at AMC. 100% of all the Dolby Cinema screens in the United States are at AMC. So this is just a massive success for us, and it's something that we're committed to doing. We would like to. We not only have expanded the number of PLFs in our company, but we've improved the quality of our PLFs. So we've gone back. I mean, almost all of our Dolby Cinemas have been installed over the last 8 years, but some of our IMAX screens are much older. So we've gone back into our IMAX screens and reinvested in those screens with IMAX laser and upgraded sound systems. And in both cases, both for IMAX and for Dolby, we'd like to increase the number of our locations. Now, and similarly, we intend to grow the number of our so-called house brand PLFs, the iSenses in Europe and the Primes here. We think we have 550, and round numbers, 550 of these things today. We think we could add 150 more. And where the consumer would support that level of supply of premium large format screens. The only limiting factor and a balancing factor is cash, because as Sean said, you know, we're always balancing chasing growth initiatives on the one hand and ensuring that we have ample liquidity on the other, and strengthen our balance sheet by using some of our cash to pay down debt. So what tempers our ability to capitalize on the growth initiatives that are right there in front of our eyes is this art form of how much money do we invest in growth initiatives, and how much do we invest in pay down debt, and how much do we just put in the bank and save for a rainy day to bolster our cash position. But there is no doubt there's enormous opportunity ahead, and we really do believe that more than any other chain in the world, AMC is home of the PLFs, or the so-called premium large format screens, and that's an advantage that we intend to sustain and improve upon in the years going forward.
subscribe. Help us hit
And with that,
118K.
should we go to some questions from our shareholders?
Please, let's do.
Unless there are any questions from equity analysts, but I think at this point it's questions from our shareholders. So the first question, Adam, is about alternative content, and we've spoken a lot about Taylor Swift. But the question is, can you talk more about future opportunities and what other sort of content are we considering to bring into our theaters?
Well, given that in one of our most important forays into alternate content, we just added $250 million to the world's box office, and 165 of that is in the United States alone. I don't think anybody's been chasing alternate content more aggressively than AMC. Clearly, this whole genre of concert films is something that we've learned there's a lot of demand for out there, and so we'll chase it hard. But it's not limited to concert artists. I continue to think that professional sports is an enormous opportunity for the movie theater industry. If you think watching a football game on your 45-inch or 55-inch or 65-inch TV at home looks good, imagine how it looks on a 45-foot or a 55-foot or a 65-foot screen at an AMC theater. And so I think the second thing that you'll see us chasing beyond these concert films is sports. It's been a multi-year effort to try to get the rights to do so, but it's something that we are in active pursuit of as we speak. And then beyond that, there's all sorts of other content, whether it's ethnic film product like Bollywood products, or some Asian language film or Hispanic language film we could bring here to the United States. Those are opportunities that we're already pursuing. And our year-over-year growth, they're small, but our year-over growth in those segments has been quite high. We've had a partnership with Fathom Events for a long time, where they bring lots of other interesting content to our screens as well. So clearly there's an opportunity here, and it's Taylor Swift demonstrated that it can be sizable dollars if it's done right. So it's clearly on AMC's radar screen.
A lot of interest in our food and beverage offerings. And there's a question about, other than popcorn, what are our other food and beverage initiatives, and what plans do we have to bring other AMC products, food and beverage products, through retail distribution channels?
If there's one area where we can take enormous pride at AMC, it's what's happened to our F&B business in the last 3 or 4 years. Prior to the pandemic, F&B spending was about $5 a head in round numbers at AMC. And these are domestic numbers that I'm using right now. And post-pandemic, it's been about $8 a head. That increase of $3 a head is meaningful when you think that we have a very high margin food and beverage business. I often joke that we sell air and water. We sell popcorn and soft drinks. And so it's a very profitable business for us. And the fact that we've seen such an increase in the spending per patron is very beneficial to us. Other chains also have seen increases in their food and beverage capture, but I continue to believe that of the, not the so-called dine-in, the small dine-in theater chains, but the mass market brands, our food and beverage capture continues to be the highest in the industry. And it's no accident. We work at it. We work at getting an interesting variety of products at our dine-in theaters and on the concession shelves in our non-dine-in theaters. And there continues to be opportunity. So the thing we're doing right now, of course, on this call I announced that we're launching AMC Cinema Suites this month and next. About 1/4 inch of pretzel and about 4 inches of chocolate on top of the pretzel. It's a lot of chocolate. It's really good chocolate too. and we're optimistic of sell. We're going to start with that in our theaters first. But just like we proved that we could take AMC Perfectly Popcorn to the home, if we see that there are big sales of AMC Cinema Suites in our theaters, we might take that out to the outside world the same way we took Perfectly Popcorn to Walmart, Kroger's, Publix, and Amazon.com. So it's been a great success story for us, and we continue to look for ways to grow it further. As one last thought on the growing it further part, I think what's so fascinating to me is how successful we've been with merchandise, movie themed, that's being sold at our concession stands just about every week of the year now. We're selling anywhere from 100,000 of these things a weekend to 1 million of these things a weekend, and we're selling them at a handsome profit. And whether it's a tin popcorn cup, a tub for Taylor Swift's movie, or a pink Corvette for a Barbie movie, or any other array of creative things that we've introduced over the course of the year, title by title by title by title. We're driving a lot of business now with these things, and we're going to keep that going in 2024 as well.
So let's talk a little bit more about the operating improvements that we have done since the beginning of 2020, which are clearly evident in our results for this quarter. And the questions about those operating improvements that we've made that will really allow AMC to thrive in the future.
So we had no choice. We had to get more efficient because during the ravages of the pandemic, we had no revenues. And so we've gotten this company to be much leaner than it ever was before. The headcount in our corporate headquarters is way down. The managerial headcount in our theaters is way down. In the case of our European theaters, we've automated so many of them with automated box offices and automated food and beverage operations. We're starting to bring the automated food and beverage kiosks back into the United States as well. We had to get more efficient, and we did get more efficient. You, in your prepared remarks, talked about the progress we made with landlords, where we renegotiated our rents downwards to the tune of tens of millions of dollars of benefits a year. Also, we've just gotten more efficient in terms of what's in our fleet. As you said, we've closed about 150 marginal theaters that were either marginally profitable or not, or money losers, and replaced them with 50 theaters that are enormous successes. The 50 theaters that we opened are grossing far more than the 150 theaters that we closed. And yet our operating expenses, by definition, are a third of what they were to operate triple the theater count. So just in area after area after area, this company has gotten leaner and more efficient. And that's something that drove these third quarter results, which are so good. If you look at the numbers hard, you'll still see attendance was off 16% compared to 2019. And if attendance is off 16%, that's 16% fewer bodies that you can sell food and beverage to. And yet with attendance down 16%, we still were far more profitable in 2023 than we were in 2019. That's the direct result of becoming more efficient. And that efficiency that we realized is a permanent efficiency. So that's going to be something that's going to continue in our numbers going forward.
Yeah, and there's a final question, which I think relates very much to what we just discussed about the operations, but just about our use of technology to really enhance the customer experience. And you mentioned some of that about the kiosks. And I guess there's other things that we're doing on using technology as well, right?
So, we joke that we can't go to the bathroom in this company without programming it in the computer first. You would think this is a pretty simple business. You know, you have a building, you're turning the lights, you have a projector, you shine a picture on a wall, maybe you hand people a cup of Coca-Cola or popcorn on the way in the door. And yet it's surprisingly intricate and complicated. And one of the reasons for that is literally everything that goes on in our theaters is automated in some shape or fashion. And we've used technology to our advantage. We have a loyalty program, Stubs and A-List, where we track the purchase history of our best customers and reward them for it. The reason we can pull that off is because our tech is so good. Very quietly during the pandemic, we put mobile order on our website and smartphone app so that literally every guest who buys a ticket online has the opportunity to pre-buy their AMC food and beverage. And our experience is we're selling more food and beverage products to the people who are using mobile order. Again, that couldn't happen but for our tech. The way we distribute movies to theaters. Christopher Nolan still likes 70mm film, but everybody else, and even Chris Nolan, everybody else sends their movies to our theaters digitally via satellite, and they're received on a computer server. That's a direct result of our tech. I do believe that from a technological standpoint, we're pretty sophisticated as an operator today, and we're committed to continuing to invest in technology, both to benefit the guest, to make the experience better, to make ourselves more efficient, which means we can squeeze out more profitability on the same revenues, and is also to stay ahead of the curve in an era where all things seem to be affected by tech.
Terrific. So that concludes the questions from investors.
So let me end the call simply by saying this. It doesn't get any better than the third quarter of 2023. We beat market expectations by about 50%. It was a profitable quarter when people were expecting a loss. Revenues were booming, but it wasn't just the revenue growth that caused our success. It was also our management of expenses, the combination of which led to a very successful quarter. We do have, it would be helpful if Hollywood could end the actor strike. It would be helpful if we don't see movies move from 24 to 25. But as I sit here today, I think we're enormously optimistic and confident in the future of the movie business. AMC is the leader of it. We do what we do well. And the third quarter of 2023 reminds us that when all things are aligned, this can be a very profitable industry. With that, thank you one and all for listening. If you haven't seen Taylor Swift's movie yet, go see it. If you haven't bought a ticket yet for Beyonce's movie, go buy one. And we'll happily see you as Christmas movies come out at our theaters in just a few weeks' time. There are a lot of big movies coming. Movie theaters are going to be bustling in December of 2023 and beyond. Happy holidays to one and all, and we'll talk to you next quarter.
Okay, guys, so that is the end. Sorry, bro, I've been resting my head on my shoulder up. That is the end of today's earnings call for AMC. AMC sitting at 970s. The thing people have to understand, like this is what I've been trying to tell people, is that if you look at the last 10 days, AMC was at $9, a couple days ago. And so AMC has gone from $9 on the 25th of October all the way to basically 10 at 970s now. So it's up, not quite 10%, maybe around 10% since then. So it's been pretty good in terms of movement since then. A lot of this is baked in. And again, we'll see what AMC does moving forward. Let me know what you guys think. Stick around. We're going to be talking about crypto today. We are going to be doing a crypto show live on stream today. We're getting some kind of lag here on my computer, but let me switch over to this. We are going to be doing a crypto show. Also, guys, if you haven't already, again, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime is a trading view indicator service. You can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I use it a ton with my day trading. You can kind of see I set alerts. You can see all the alerts that show up, triggered alerts on Trading View right here. If I go to like the NASDAQ as an example, like, dude, these can just be really powerful. I can go to these and I can go to the Market Oracle, which is my favorite one. I can also put up chart patterns, smart money concepts, market dynamics, all this good stuff. And you can see they're actually really powerful. Like, again, the regular Market Oracle, if you look at this, whenever you get an engulfing candle and a reversal signal right on top of each other, or any candlestick pattern, really, look at the accuracy rate. And again, this is just a small piece of what they offer. So bearish engulfing, reversal signal, boom, dip, reversal up, bounce. FTM in a reversal signal, dip, reversal down, drop. This one might not have worked. Bearish engulfing candle worked. And again, that's just a small piece. I can also look at any time frame. I can look at the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, stocks. I can go to the Market Oracle Pro chart patterns, zoom out. I can go to an hourly chart, a daily chart. If I want, it's like $40 a month. Like, look at these. Strong sell signal, bounce. Buy signal here, bounce. Buy signal here, bounce. This is called the Market Oracle Pro. There's so much stuff that they offer, and back test to yourself. It's actually really, really powerful in my opinion. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but they're a sponsor of mine. Again, if you want to check them out, I'll post the link up in the chat. As well as, again, if you want to check out my other sponsor, Top Step. Top Step is a funded program in futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. And in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold, silver, and there's no PDT in futures. So these funded account programs are useful because what they allow you to do is day trade with less risk. The base one's $49. You put up $49. And if you can hit the profit without hitting the max loss in the demo, they fund you with a live account. Again, that way, the futures market, I can day trade essentially the Q, essentially the SPY in futures with no PDT rule. If I lose, I'm out $50. If I'm good enough to pass it, I get real funding. They're the most legit futures funded program in the world. Great way to help support your boy here. Check out that link. Let me see. We're lagging a little bit. Check out that link right. And dude, my computer is just laggy right now. There's the link right there. Check it out. And again, we're going to get ready to do our crypto show right now. So again, as soon as we end the stream, it should bring you to our crypto show. Like literally, as soon as we end the stream, it should bring you on over there. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there. We're starting that stream up right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there.